Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video I'll be giving you a full breakdown of one of the best and most popular web hosting services out there, Hostinger. Now, I've tested and reviewed quite a lot of web hosting services through the course of this channel, and I've been using Hostinger for a while now, not just for testing purposes, but to run my own websites and brand. And so, having gone through everything it has to offer, I can confidently say that Hostinger is the best web hosting service out there, and for a lot of reasons. It has great performance, offers a lot of stuff for a very affordable price, lower than most competitors actually, and it's very easy to use, to the point where anyone without any past knowledge can sign up and build a website from scratch. So I wanted to go over all of these things and much more to help you figure out whether or not Hostinger is the right pick for you. And of course, if you'd like to check it out for yourself, I'll be leaving all the useful links, including some special discounts, in the description down below, so make sure to check that out. Now, Hostinger is a web hosting service, which means it gives clients a secure online space to store all the files, code, images, text, and other content to be displayed on their websites. In layman's terms, a hosting platform is sort of like the cell phone carrier that you use to access the cellular network on your phone, but for websites. Hostinger is integrated with WordPress, so you can easily access website building through your dashboard. When you log into Hostinger, you'll basically see two different options in your panel. The first is the main control panel, and the second is the WordPress dashboard. Now, I really like the setup of the main controls. The minimalist design makes it really straightforward and user-friendly. Everything is located in just one window, so I don't need to worry about keeping tabs on a dozen tabs. No pun intended. The WordPress dashboard is even more user-friendly. On the main screen, I can get information about my PHP or WordPress versions, turn on maintenance mode, install, update, and deactivate plugins and themes, and easily troubleshoot my site. Honestly, Hostinger makes the troubleshooting process really simple by letting me turn off my plugins one at a time to find out which is causing the issues. On the other hand, I don't love that they automatically install some non-essential plugins for you instead of letting you choose what you want. So I always head over to the plugin tab and delete the ones I don't want. But what about the website builder itself? How does it stack up? Honestly, I've been very pleased with it. It's light on elements and tools, which means the design interface is simple and not overwhelming, but at the same time, you do get a lot of customization options. For example, Hostinger has a grid system to help with dragging and dropping elements into the exact right places, and they do have more than 100 templates to get you started with. But what I especially like, and this is relatively new, is that they added an AI assistant who can build the site for you according to your specifications. Overall, I found the website builder to be efficient and professional looking. Now let's talk about performance and loading speeds when it comes to websites hosted on Hostinger. This is a big one because SEO rankings depend on how fast your website loads. Well, the average loading time for a site is about 7 seconds, but Google recommends cutting that down to 2.5 if you want to rank higher in web searches. Now, I've personally seen my site's loading time reduced by a full 60% since I migrated to Hostinger, and that's because their servers run on solid-state drives rather than hard drives, which are much faster. Now, that's my personal experience, but I've also put it to the test. I've used Bluehost to load an empty WordPress site, and it did so in 2 seconds. GoDaddy managed to load in only 1.5, but Hostinger took home the blue ribbon, loading the empty site in less than a second. My Hostinger site's also been quite stable. I've run some tests, pinging it every few minutes, and it was up for just 100% of the time. In a month of running this test, the site was down for only about a minute. Now, if you have a large e-commerce operation, you may still be wondering how Hostinger performs under more stress and how it handles a large amount of traffic. So I put that to the test by having 50 users all try to access my site at the same time. That's a lot of stress for a platform to handle, but Hostinger performed majestically. The site remained stable, and the average response time was under 60 milliseconds, and I didn't have a single HTTP failure. Now, security is another huge factor when it comes to hosting a website, and I have to say I'm satisfied with Hostinger's security options. First of all, they have SSL certificates already installed for all domains and subdomains, so you don't have to hunt down external providers to do it for you. But ultimately, you still have control and can add or change your security settings to meet your needs. Now, Hostinger does give you DDoS protected servers with 24/7 monitoring and firewall protection, and they also have anti-malware protection, which is pretty basic, but you do get this built into your plan. Finally, and this is surprising, Hostinger has an automatic backup system rolled into all their plans, which if you're new to the world of web hosting, you might be thinking that having a backup should be standard, but many popular web hosting platforms don't, or they make you pay extra. Now, on Hostinger, every single plan gives you weekly backups, and if you have a large product and want more protection, the higher level plans include daily backups. Now, the last security issue is something that people don't always think about. Sometimes people think that if their website itself has airtight security, they're covered. But all of that is meaningless if someone gets into your hosting account. They can basically access everything from the inside. So Hostinger has the option to set up two-factor authentication, which is really just an added layer of security to make sure your site is locked up tight. Now, what I really like about Hostinger is that they are totally committed to improvement. You can even see here on their dashboard that they have a feature suggestion box, and honestly, this isn't something that's just there for show. They really do take user suggestions into account, to the point where they've actually published a public roadmap with projects they plan to implement. So one example from their roadmap is their plan to give free subdomain names to any WordPress website that hasn't yet been connected to a custom domain. Now, I have to tell you, honestly, there are not many web hosting services out there that have public roadmaps, and the fact that Hostinger is so transparent about their planned improvements really improves my trust in their product. Now, here's another example of Hostinger's constant drive to improve. In the past, Hostinger split up their plans, making you pay separately if you wanted website hosting or website building. But recently, they changed it, so now you can do both with one plan, which is obviously a game changer. Now, when you go to build a site, you can choose if you want to build it with a website builder or with a content management system like WordPress. Pretty cool. But it's the fact that they're always making these upgrades that take into account what users want that really stands out to me. Okay, so as far as pricing goes, they really do give you the best value for your money when it comes to website hosting. As you can see, you can literally get started for a little less than $3 a month, and this plan isn't stingy. In fact, it's the most popular, and what I recommend the most if you're on a budget and want to get the website done and running. For these $3, you get 100 gigabytes of SSD storage, the ability to create 100 websites, free SSL certification, and unlimited bandwidth. If you compare this to HostGator, for example, their most expensive plan offers only 40 gigabytes and allows you to secure only 3 websites. So as you can see, there's a lot of value packed over there. But Hostinger has other plans for those who want to lock in some higher level features. For example, the business plan ups the threshold from the premium plan, giving you 200 gigabytes of NVMe storage, enhanced performance, free CDN, and turning backups from weekly to daily, not to mention the plethora of bonus features you unlock going from premium to business. Now, when it comes to cost, we have to discuss the issue of renewals. What a lot of website hosting platforms do is give a really cheap deal right off the bat, and then when it comes time to renew, they'll up the price a ton. They know they can get away with this because people are usually in it for the long run, looking to host for years or even decades. Now, I have to be honest and let you know that Hostinger does up the price during renewal season, but they're still less expensive than other web hosting platforms for 2 reasons. First of all, whereas some companies gouge you up to 5 times the cost for renewals, Hostinger renewals are only around double the cost, which is pretty standard. And secondly, those prices I mentioned above are available if you lock in for 4 years, which sounds like a long time to commit to, but if you really think about it, it means you don't have to pay those full cost renewal prices for several years. So let's say you plan to host your site for a decade. With Hostinger, you're getting a discount for 4 of those 10 years, nearly half the lifespan of the project. Whereas with conventional payment plans, you only get those low prices for year 1 and then have to cough up much more in subsequent years. Now on the topic of pricing, I've hunted down the best discounts out there for you. So click that link in the description box below and you can get started for the best price there is. Now, having said all that, would I recommend Hostinger? Yes, absolutely. Although renewals will cost you a little bit more, it's honestly still a cheaper option than most premium hosting services. I've also been impressed by Hostinger's performance and stability. It has excellent security and is a user-friendly platform. Hostinger is a great option for anyone looking to host a website for personal or professional use. You can host a variety of sites with Hostinger, anything from blogging to business and everything in between. And that'll be all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out the links in the description to grab yourself the best Hostinger discount possible. Like and subscribe to see more of these videos, and let me know in the comments if there's anything cybersecurity you'd like me to cover. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.